The Rings of Power Season 1 was a disaster of epic proportions for Amazon. It seemed like everybody hated it, and the few people who were defending it were shill critics, and now we finally have gotten the trailer for Season 2, and it looks just as bad as Season 1. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, obviously, we knew that Season 2 was kind of surrounding Sauron and his story and what he was going to do to Middle-earth, but nobody was expecting him to be this bad, to look this bad, okay? Because Sauron is a bad character, but boy, oh boy, did he have a sense of fashion in at least all of the texts that we got from Tolkien, and of course, well, this really doesn't look all that good. We were supposed to be getting his most beautiful form, an ethereal form, him trying to blend in with the elves, and instead we got a receding hairline and honestly one of the worst looking wigs that I have seen in a long time. And they decided to drop this trailer. It is already getting ratioed. Everybody seems to hate it, and funny enough, they actually decided to launch this trailer directly against their competition, House of the Dragon. Now, let's start off with House of the Dragon's trailer. Okay, it's got 250,000 views in an hour, sitting at 29,000 likes and only 261 dislikes. Positively received for sure. I personally loved House of the Dragon Season 1. I'm very excited for Season 2, and this trailer looks really good. I honestly thought their marketing material a couple of weeks ago was fantastic, where they had two trailers, one for Team Green and one for Team Black, but instead of doing anything original like that for Rings of Power, a season that is costing them roughly $300 million from what we've heard. Instead, we got this rinky-dink trailer. It's got 463,000 views in 3 hours, and the ratio is already glorious. Honestly, I'm surprised Prime Video hasn't shut the comments off yet, but I'm sure it's going to happen. As you can see, it's sitting at 28,000 likes to 58,000 dislikes, and it is moving extremely quickly. This is not going to be a good situation for Amazon. It's not. See, as you can see, 30,000 likes to 63,000 dislikes. Now, everybody wants to have their voices heard, and while there are some people who are liking it, I genuinely believe that they're just doing it in order to, try to fend off this massive ratio that is going to happen, and we know it's going to happen. This trailer, while I am not going to play it in its entirety because there was a situation surrounding Season 1's trailer where some videos were being taken down, it does not look anything like Lord of the Rings or Tolkien's creation. It looks like a fan fiction and a very low quality one. You could tell me that they spent $100 million on this season and that's it, and I would believe it. And obviously $100 million is still a lot, but when they have already dumped hundreds of millions of dollars into the Rings of Power with Season 1, the rights, and Season 2, yeah, we expect very high quality, and instead we're getting Geralt Season 1 level wigs that honestly look even worse. We're getting lots and lots of CGI, and while it would be hard to not use a lot of CGI in something like this, you can still have CGI that looks semi-believable, but that's just not what we're seeing here. I mean, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings movies and even the Hobbit films looked significantly better than this, and I bet Amazon's feeling pretty burnt right now with the fact that Peter Jackson's returning to help on the new Gollum movie coming out in 2026, which I bet will blow away Rings of Power Season 3 and not even come close to the budget of even one of these seasons of trash. And I'm not going to play a lot of this, but I just want you guys to get a feel of the music that they decided to choose as the backdrop for one of their flagship series, for a series that is costing them $1 billion. It is the most generic bass boosted movie trailer music I have heard. And when you have a property like Lord of the Rings, this is not what I expect and what most people expect. We expect ethereal or intense songs with trumpets, violins, cellos, flutes. I mean, throw it all at us. Not what they gave us. And yes, we are talking about a show that is costing them such an insane amount of money. I'm sure that they were freaking out behind the scenes, regarding what they were going to do for promotional material because they knew how much season 1 was disliked, but it doesn't seem like they learned any lessons. They did not take any of our criticism and our feedback, and they didn't actually try to improve with this. Now, obviously, when the full season comes out, maybe it will be better. Maybe they will actually impress us with what they've given us, but just judging by this, I highly doubt it. It just does not seem like this is going to go any better for them. I mean, none of this feels like Lord of the Rings besides the shots of the Rings of Power and the Dark Tower. That is literally it. I guess this shot also looks kind of decent, but we've already seen this shot before. Not at this exact one, but we've seen a very similar shot, and it just does not seem like there's a lot of innovation here. Like, a shot like that is just pure CGI, and we can tell that, this season, of course, is going to be a lot darker visually, and funny enough, when things are darker, it means they get to spend less on CGI because things can be a lot messier. Look at the last season of Game of Thrones, for example. I mean, the long night where you had to squint in order to see what the heck was going on. They did the same thing in House of the Dragon season 1 in some shots, like on the beach with Rhaenyra and Daemon and seeing all the dragons. Like, yeah, that wasn't the norm in the trailer, but I mean, compared to their competition, Rings of Power does not look that good. And of course, people are absolutely roasting them, absolutely destroying them. What impresses me the most about this trailer is they haven't turned the comment section off yet. I think that they will within the next 24 hours. We know that they cannot really take criticism all that well, and they're bound to shut the comments of this off very, very quickly. Them, bet you can't fool me again, Sauron. Hold my wig! Do you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs? This was an amazing piece of marketing material from the, of course, original Lord of the Rings movie releases, and man, they would have been better off using something like this and putting up a meme trailer than this ultra serious one that just doesn't feel like Lord of the Rings. I think maybe he's been here all along. Maybe the real Sauron are the friends we made along the way. It just does not, leave me impressed at all whatsoever, and most people tend to agree. Sauron, did you put your rings into the fires of Mount Doom? Gandalf asked calmly. Amazon, we need Anatar. Showrunner, wait, Sauron, put on a wig and a pair of elf ears. Yeah, we had heard that they were thinking about changing Sauron's actor, going into season 2 because they needed someone who was way more ethereal looking. Of course, Anatar is the form that he's supposed to be right now, and he does not look at all what his book description looked like. So we expected them to pick a new actor who looked more like an elf or what we've seen from elves previously, and we just didn't get that. Prime, let's add even more special effects. Maybe they won't notice the rest. Yeah, who needs good storytelling and, faithful to source material storytelling when we could just put these guys in these awful looking wigs and half decent looking armor and then throw a bunch of CGI over it and all these special effects. I mean, that just does not look at all whatsoever what I would expect from a series of this caliber where they are trying to get people to watch it and to love it and to get excited for a new season. So obviously, so far, this is not going well for Amazon, and it will be interesting to see over the next few days if they put up any other marketing material. Of course, if they shut the comments off, if they cannot take criticism going forward. But so far, so bad for Rings of Power Season 2, and it does not seem like they took any of our criticism from Season 1 to heart. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.